Always a pleasure to catch up with Navy defensive assistant Brent Wimberly. He comes to the USNA from Alabama, where he spent 1 year as a GA. He also played for and coached with head coach Brian Newberry and defensive coordinator PJ Volker when they were all at Kennesaw State. Brent, why did you follow those coaches to Navy?
Honestly, it was a no-brainer for me. Those coaches, or Coach Newberry, Coach Volker, they are the reason I started coaching. Coach Volker actually pulled me into his office and asked me, was I interested in coaching? I didn't know the avenue to take, and he actually helped me and guided me on that way. So I'm here because of them, and once I think about coaching and who I want to coach for and coach with, I think about coaching with good people, great mentors, and at the end of the day, they check all those boxes, and that's why I came to the Naval Academy.
It's been 5 years since you worked with them regularly. How have their demeanors changed in that time?
Just seeing them become, they've always been family oriented, but just seeing them really enjoy their kids and really become family men. They've always cared for their players like family, and just seeing them continue to grow in that aspect and that capacity, being role models at the end of the day, that's part of the reason why I chose.
As a GA, you worked with defensive backs alongside Coach Nick Saban at Alabama. What's the most important lesson you learned from your time in Tuscaloosa that you can bring to Annapolis?
At the end of the day, we all have choices to make. We also have to be accountable and held accountable for those choices, whether it's good or bad. The more good choices you make, of course, you reap the benefits from it. And at the end of the day, that's the game of football, and that's also in life. So not just on the field, but off the field, those are valuable life lessons.
You go from working for one of the greatest head coaches of all time, Nick Saban, to a first-year head coach in Brian Newberry. What comparisons can you draw between both of those men?
It's interesting you ask that. Coach Saban is always seen as like the fiery coach who's always, jumping down somebody's throat, but it's not always the case. In the office, he can be a little more calm and a little more chill. At the end of the day, he still holds everybody accountable. And I think that's the same way with Coach Newberry. Coach Newberry isn't quite as fiery off the field. He has a charisma about himself, and he carries himself a certain way. But on the field, you can tell his love and passion comes out for the game, and that's the same as Coach Saban.
It's just a couple of days into spring practice, Brent. However, what excites you about this Navy team?
I think the trajectory of the team. At the end of the day, we have a lot of new faces, and all the guys on the team, they have truly embraced everybody that's here, everybody that's new, and we've seen a lot of improvements over fourth quarters, and even from the first day of spring ball, we've seen tremendous changes. So it's positive to see, and I'm excited for where we're going and where we're headed.
He's Brent Wimberly. I'm Luke Slabaugh, and this is Navy Football.